D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe is open at 8228 Oak Street, just 2 blocks off of Carrollton. D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe has your RPGs and TCGs and a wall full of board games to rent both in-store and to take home. It's not just a game shop. As the name D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe says, it's also a cafe serving real food at great prices. Po' boys, salads, wraps, soups, pastries, and more. So head out to 8228 Oak Street and have some fun. And when it's all over, they'll clean up after you and all your nasty friends.
Resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is Captain's Log Supplemental. I'm D Squared with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. Welcome to the Captain's Log Supplemental. So, this is a very special edition that we've been promising that we were going to do extra supplemental stuff.
Yeah.
And we finally got our asses around to doing it.
Yeah. Is this going to be a regular occurrence, Dave?
Probably not.
Okay.
I got a lot of stuff to do, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
So, but no, also we want to welcome aboard D4 Gaming Cafe.
Yes. D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe is on Oak Street. And they're a new game shop in town. Lots of great food. Lots of board games.
Like legit food, not like Hot Pockets.
Yeah, no, sandwiches, wraps, all kind of good stuff. And I personally have eaten there many times. It's great. I enjoy it, and lots of great games to play. So
absolutely. So we kind of wanted to do a little bit of I don't know. It's not exactly what you'd call top nerd news, I guess. I mean, it's more along the lines of we want to talk about Solo because we haven't really kind of gotten into that. We didn't have enough time for that. We didn't have time to do This Week in Geek History on Sunday's show. So, you know what? Let's just get right into it. And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, so let's talk about Solo, a Star Wars story.
All right, that's fair. I saw it for the first time this weekend. I believe it was Saturday I went and saw it. And
wait, so now, hold on. Are we going to do spoilers? That's the real question.
So how about mild spoilers?
Let's just spoil the whole goddamn thing.
Okay. Well, it's
spoilers ahead. If you have not seen, well, we're not live on the radio. This is an actual supplemental edition, so you can listen to it at your leisure.
Right.
So, spoilers ahead. Ye have been warned.
Fair enough. All right. Well, how about we talk about the box office real quick? It is
crapping the bed.
June 6th right now. It's Wednesday, June 6th, and domestic is $155 million. Foreign is $115 million for a total of $271 million.
Ouch.
Yeah. I mean, some would look at a movie like this and say, well, how is that not a success? I mean, that's a lot of money.
Compared to Human Centipede, it's a smashing success.
Yes, but compared to other billion-dollar Star Wars offerings, it's kind of not doing too well. And with all the reshoots...
Well, yeah, let's start from the very beginning.
All right, go ahead.
So here's the thing, all right, it's a story that we were given that we're not sure we ever really wanted.
Okay.
It was also plagued with reshoots right out the gate.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of issues that have been going on. Then, after The Last Jedi, you had a bunch of homegrown, cyber terrorists wanting to boycott,
Right.
and actually trying to tank the Rotten Tomato scores on all the aggregate sites.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of things going against them, and I think the biggest problem they had was just the blasé of the general fans like you and I.
Yeah, I mean, seeing this, did I enjoy it? Sure. It was another excuse to get into the Star Wars universe, right. But when I got out of the movie, I was like, okay, who cares?
Right.
I was like, yeah, that was great. And sure, there was a couple nifty scenes in there, but largely it was,
The biggest spoiler, and spoilers ahead, was just the very end of the movie when Darth Maul pops up.
Why?
Exactly. Who the hell cares? Right. I mean, like, this is a standalone movie. It's like, okay, here's Darth Maul. We heard you liked him from Phantom Menace, even though we chopped him in half. I mean, it's like we've seen more of him in the Clone Wars, et cetera, et cetera. But, I mean, it's not like he's going to get a spin-off movie, so it's not like we're going to find out what he was doing, when he was with Black Sun. Was it Black Sun?
I don't know. And I think I asked you about this previously after I saw the movie. Kara, who was the female lead that was Han Solo's love interest in there.
Oh, Daenerys Targaryen.
Right. And they're, she's talking with Darth Maul, and he's like, we're going to be working a lot together. And I was like, was she in Rebels? Does she appear somewhere else in the universe?
No.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm like, well, there's some kind of seed that you just planted right there that's going to go nowhere.
Right. It's kind of like Snoke.
Right.
Here's this great character that you think might have a great backstory, but we cut him in half too.
Yeah.
They just, if you got a backstory that you're really interested in, Star Wars just cuts you in half.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yes, exactly.
So, but I mean, this also might spell a little doom for Boba Fett, because I really don't care to see a Boba Fett movie.
No.
I mean, I loved Boba Fett, but I'd go see the movie if they made it, but yet again, I would be like, all right, well, I'll go.
Yeah. Sounds like Patton Oswalt. I don't care where the things I love come from. I just love the things I love. And to a degree, I get it, right? It's... Yeah, move forward, people.
Right. I mean, and the thing with, the spoilerific stuff was just like, all right, I enjoyed the organic, pseudo-organic way Han and Chewie, became besties,
Okay.
But the whole thing where all of a sudden he starts speaking Wookiee, out of the blue, it's just like he was raised on the mean streets of Corellia, but if they'd have had a Wookiee somewhere in there, just something, because like all of a sudden he's speaking, Wookiee. Where did he learn it from?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and the other thing that interests me about the way they showed the relationship is the reason Chewbacca is so tied to Han is that life debt, right? Where Han at some point has saved his life, and therefore, the Wookiees grant a life debt to an individual like that. I didn't really see that expressed.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's where I thought you were going. Yeah, I didn't see it either. I didn't see some grandiose gesture of him, laying his life on the line to save Chewie.
I mean, right, like, he yanked him off the train, and so he avoided the rock.
Right.
Was that the point? Yeah,
it's pretty weak.
Right.
I mean, now what I did like, I'm still curious because the movie didn't answer it. I want to know what Han did with Lando's cloak closet. What happened to all the cloak closets? I mean, what is that now? Is that the head? I mean, what is it?
We'll never know, Dave.
We won't. But I did. One of the few things that I did like in the movie was how Lando, whooped his ass in cards. And then at the end, he goes back and he wins the Falcon from him.
Right.
Because I thought he knew he cheated in the beginning. But then it's like when he goes to hug him, he sees the little card slot, in his wrist. So it's like, I'm torn between it. It's like, it's a great thing, but then also how stupid is Han that, that he hadn't seen it yet. Or that he didn't know what he was getting himself into. But I did like how he won it. It was, it was cool. Hey, it was an answer to a question I did kind of sort of had, because they'd always alluded to it.
Well, didn't they specifically mention a card game in Empire?
They did.
Yeah, so we kind of already had our answer. We just saw the answer.
Yes. So L4,
L3.
L3, what were your thoughts on her?
Yeah, I believe it had.
Who voiced it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It sounded like the Captain Phasma. It almost sounded like her.
I don't know. Okay, sure, yeah, great. You've got a plucky female robot.
Plucky.
Well, she's got an attitude. That's great. I didn't mind the character. I thought it was fine. And apparently that's where the whole pansexual thing with Lando.
He's boinking a robot?
Apparently,
How does one do that?
We have sex robots now, Dave.
Yes, but they have like fake skin on it, latex, something.
Yeah, look, maybe
he was having sex with a toaster. That's a straight up toaster.
Maybe she has attachments, Dave. Who knows?
Oh,
right?
I see. My mind didn't even go there.
You know,
I am rubbing off on you in a very bad way. Deleterious effect.
You are, but you know, people will never know. Just like we won't know a lot of things about, you know, the Star Wars universe. Apparently.
So, look, if anybody's on the fence about going to see the movie, go see the movie. You'll enjoy it, but it's not making any money, and so maybe this Star Wars has a lot of answering to do now. They've got to come up with answers to the questions such as, where do we go from here? Because they're getting their ass kicked on several fronts between the new trilogy and now the flop that is Solo, at least on a monetary level for where they forecasted their money.
Right. Well, I mean, the 7 and 8 are fine monetarily, even though they got a lot of backlash out of The Last Jedi. Monetarily, that's fine. I think that they're quite in a position to absorb any losses if they see much at all off of Solo. That's not really going to be, heck, they can write that off, you know.
Right.
So the bigger question is, what is Lucasfilm going to learn from this? And, you know, because I think you've got a couple things happening. You have this toxic aspect of the fan base who are very vocal. And
does fatigue play into any of this too? To this equation that we're setting up?
No, I don't think fatigue is reasonable. And the reason that I say that is, look at the slate of Marvel movies and how fast and hard those things are coming out. We're getting 2 to 3 a year.
Right.
There's no fatigue there. People are excited. You know, now I do think that there's some other things that play into it. Not going to worry about it right now. Regardless, I think it has to do a lot with, it's a story we didn't ask for.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who are butthurt about Episode 8.
Right.
And that sort of played into it. Also, you got Avengers Infinity War and Deadpool 2 that just dropped. There's a lot of stuff happening right now that's in the market. And I've even seen commentary online where people are like, hey, look, I have a limited budget, and between Avengers Infinity War, Deadpool, and Solo, I went and saw Infinity War. I get that.
Well, it seems like with Star Wars movie, there's always been the it's an event because they don't have a whole lot of them. You know, we used to only get one every couple of years.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, you don't see those outrageous lines of people standing out, camping out, everybody, you know, in their costumes, having lightsaber fights. You know, we saw all that through the prequels, but now we're not seeing that as much.
Well, we don't really see it at all because there's so many theaters, right?
Right.
Everything is much more accessible now than it used to be, right? When you think back to 1977, Star Wars had a very limited release, and it was really word of mouth that pushed it over the edge.
I don't know if that's a very good example. Let's use some of the newer ones, like the prequels. Let's say The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
I mean, people lost their damn minds. I mean, you know, I remember we went and tracked down that theater out in New Orleans East, you know, East Lake 8, you know, because there was like nobody there, but all the other theaters sold out. This is all before, like, you know, you could buy tickets online, Fandango and all that stuff didn't really exist.
Right. So, you know, I don't need to camp out and wait in line because I can just get online, pre-order my tickets, and be good to go.
But there was a scarcity of the movies, though. Now we've kind of got a glut. In Star Wars terms, we do.
No, not necessarily. I mean, yeah, there were 3-year gaps between A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi.
Right.
And then we didn't get the expanded stuff until the 90s. Then the new movies came out, and there was a 2-year gap, I believe, for 1, 2, and 3.
Right, and then we had another big gap before they decided to make 7.
Right.
So then you had 7, and then we had Rogue One, then we had 8, and then we had Solo.
Right.
And now we got more stuff on the back burner that they're going to put out. So it's like I keep want to say, I can't think of the right adjective for it. But it was an event, though, and so now you're getting them so close in proximity to each other that I think that has something to play with it.
I disagree. I don't think fatigue has anything to do with it. I think that if
I don't know about fatigue. I'm talking like, just the event of it. I don't know. I need to find a damn thesaurus right now.
Right. Well, but events don't happen for movies like they used to. They just don't. Right. I think the internet culture kind of ruined that aspect of.
They're ruining a whole lot of crap nowadays. I mean, now they're just starting Twitter wars and all this other crap. But I don't know. I think Disney hasn't done themselves any favor as well. Like Abrams basically implying that if you didn't like The Last Jedi, then you don't like strong female characters. So I mean, it's all basically saying if you didn't like the movie, you're a misogynist. It's like, no, dude,
or a bigot.
Yeah.
Right. So you're absolutely right. You bring up a good point. You cannot attack your fan base.
Right.
Right. And there's an article that we were discussing that talks about the object of a fandom and how it becomes part of your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And almost in religious terms to a degree that you...
Yeah, like the original trilogy is a sacred text.
Exactly. And so when the manufacturers of that fandom come out and directly attack the fan base, even if it's a small minority of it,
right,
you're attacking those individuals. I mean, I'm not trying to give justification for people's bad actions, because some of the stuff that we've seen, especially with the actress who played Rose Tico, is just horrific.
People suck.
That's
why I hate people.
Right, but if you want to have some sort of understanding of the situation, then that's what it is, right? These people, some of them are feeling directly attacked by the directors, by Kathleen Kennedy.
Right. I mean, and I like The Last Jedi, so when they start saying that kind of crap, it's like, dude, really?
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple minor things that I didn't like with Last Jedi. Overall, I thought it was fine. I don't personally get it, but it's a mess.
One a-hole spoils the bunch.
Right. Well, look, overall, Hollywood just needs to get their collective head out of their collective bum. I mean,
here, you know what? I want you to take a listen to this new trailer that dropped.
Let me tell you something. A driver don't pick the car. Car pick the driver. It's a mystical bond between man and machine. It's a mystical bond between man and machine.
Bumblebee. Listen to this music. It's like, woo! They're sitting out of the sunroof of Bumblebee going, yay! Summertime.
Beat music can help you say what you're feeling. Try this.
I'm gonna gag on feelings.
So
it shoots out the tape. He can't talk. So
right.
She's like, oh, you can't talk? Use music to express yourself. Puts the song in there. Well, apparently it's taking place in the 80s.
Right.
So that was like a current hit. So she didn't rickroll poor Bumblebee.
Well, yeah, but I think that the implication is that they're rickrolling the audience to a degree, right? Ha, that's very funny.
Yeah, I wouldn't overthink it like that.
Regardless, honestly, Transformers at this point, who cares?
They had a shot with this Bumblebee thing to try to make it something different, but it looks like they're making Old Yeller with a car. Well, that's what this looks like. Old Yeller with a car. Except he's not going to die. She's not going to tie him to a tree and shoot him at the end. Of course, they should do that to the franchise. Just saying.
They should. Well, and you bring up an excellent point.
What?
You do.
Let me timestamp this.
Okay.
All right.
I have a friend right now for a production that I'm involved with who is currently at this moment in California trying to pitch ideas to some of the networks.
You were telling me this. Yes, right. Continue. I like this.
And yet he is being directly told by these industry insiders that his idea is not like something else, like it's too original. And it's like, are you kidding me? You need original material.
Bring us your new ideas, but not so new that we can't understand what it is.
Right.
Give us your new ideas like that guy had over there and that guy over there.
Right, exactly. If it's not directly tied to something that people know, then they're not interested in it. And it's like, are you kidding me? I get so sick of that stuff. But ultimately, the people who hold the purse strings want to increase their holdings. They want to make money. That's the whole deal, and they don't want to take chances.
Well, they're a bunch of puddings.
Well, they are. You know, if George Lucas wouldn't have took a chance, if Lucas wouldn't have took a chance, we wouldn't have got Star Wars.
That's true.
You know, if you wouldn't have took a chance, we wouldn't have the Week in Geek radio show. Yeah. So
great news coming down the pike too.
Right.
I don't know if I can say it today.
No, you can't say it today.
Damn it.
You'll have to wait on it, Dave. Well, speaking of
let's go to break. But yeah, we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on this stupid thing.
Well, did you want to talk about more poop on toast with Jurassic World? Oh.
See what I did there?
I see what you did
there. That's the bump music. Yes, Jurassic World, hopefully it'll go extinct.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good reviews.
They're mixed. Mixed is their word of saying that nobody liked it except the guys we paid to put it in print. Look,
I like dinosaurs. They're great. I'm done. I don't care.
Say that again?
I said I like dinosaurs. They're great. I think they're.
That's my new ringtone. I like dinosaurs. They're great. I like turtles.
Yes, right. But I'm totally sick of the Jurassic Park franchise. It's done.
It is. It really. Put it back in the amber.
Thank you.
Bury it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break?
Yes, take us to break.
All right, guys, when we get back, we're going to do
This Week in Geek History.
Our missing This Week in Geek History from this past Sunday. So stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Captain's Supplemental.
D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe is open at 8228 Oak Street, just 2 blocks off of Carrollton. D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe has your RPGs and TCGs and a wall full of board games to rent both in-store and to take home. It's not just a game shop. As the name D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe says, it's also a cafe serving real food at great prices. Po' boys, salads, wraps, soups, pastries, and more. So head out to 8228 Oak Street and have some fun. And when it's all over, they'll clean up after you and all your nasty friends.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Mata Hari, Agent H21 is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktieTans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
It's long past time for the Big Easy to get a big comic convention. MightyCon proudly presents their very first New Orleans Comic Con, coming this June 9th and 10th at the Hilario Center in West Wego. The New Orleans Comic Con features hundreds of artists and creators, vendors, and of course, special guests. We also have free comics at the door for all attendees, free parking, and kids 12 and under get in free. Go to MightyConShows.com for more info. Don't miss New Orleans' biggest new comic book show.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Autobots, transform and roll out.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek Captain's Log Supplemental. I'm D Squared.
With Brian Held.
All right, Brian. So, as always, we want to strongly urge people to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, since this is a podcast-only deal, they're probably already listening to it on Spreaker.com or Spreaker for their smartphone or tablet.
If they know what's good for them.
Right. Or maybe they're listening on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play, the iHeartRadio app, or at WRNO.com.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not. This week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future!
Yes! Oh my gosh!
This week in Geek History is brought to you by New Orleans Comic Con at the Hilario Center, June 9th and 10th. For more information, go to MightyConShows.com. This week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Da-na-na, da-na-na, wow.
All right, Dave, you ready?
I'm always ready.
All right. First item on my list, and this is for last week since we missed it. May 28th, 1998. At the Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3, in Atlanta, Georgia, Nintendo first introduces the United States to Pokemon.
Oh, yay!
Good news, everyone!
And then we had to catch them all.
Yes, like chlamydia.
Oh, man. You made me think. I saw a picture online that showed don't catch them all, and it was like Pokemon on a like teacher's board, but it had all the sexually transmitted diseases. Yeah. All right.
How many people died playing Pokemon Go?
There's a few people who met unfortunate ends playing that game.
Darwinism in full effect.
All right, next item on my list, May 30th, 1979. Sees the founding of Japan Capsule Computers, which is now known as Capcom.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yes, of course. Given us Street Fighter and Mega Man, by 2008, they were one of 50 of the largest software companies in the world.
Jeez, damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good stuff.
Nice.
Shall we play a game?
Yep. All right. I was going to ask you to pull audio for this next one, but we didn't have time. May 31st, 1859. The clock tower at the Houses of Parliament, which includes the bell called Big Ben, begins keeping time.
Oh.
Hey, look, kids. There's Big Ben in Parliament.
Hey, look, kids.
Big Ben, Parliament.
I'm going to say, I don't know. I just had a serious brain fart. I was like, oh, what, the 5th of November? Remember?
Right.
Of course, it's June.
Right, exactly. No, I just, that was the date. But yeah, Big Ben is the bell and not the tower.
Really?
Yes, really.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Well, I learned something.
That's my job, Dave.
Huzzah!
Oh, let's see. On June 1st, 1961. Robert A. Heinlein's classic novel, Stranger in a Strange Land, is published.
I thought you were going to say Starship Troopers.
No, this is the other awesome one that he did. Can you grok it?
Wait, what?
Grok. That was one of the terms that this novel introduced.
Can you grok it?
Yes, like come to mental terms with it. Kind of. It's read the book, Dave. It's a fantastic book.
Well, I haven't been gifted the book. You gift everybody Starship Troopers.
I do. You want me to give? I will get you a copy of Stranger in a Strange Land.
I can't grok why you haven't given me one.
Well,
did I use it correctly in a sentence?
Yes. We'll take care of it.
Woo!
All right. Yes, to agree on such a fundamental level. Anyway. Also on June 1st, 1990. This one you have to guess. All right, this movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, Ronnie Cox, and Michael Ironside.
Oh, my God. Total Recall.
There you go. Yeah. Get your ass to Mars.
When he pulls that thing out of his nose. Get on the chopper.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh,
yes.
God, what was the name of the little thing in his stomach? You know, the leader of the resistance.
God,
I know.
Quado.
Quado.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quaid.
God, and they rebooted that one, and it was so terrible.
Reboots?
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about reboots.
Exactly, voice guy.
The reboot wasn't terrible.
Sure as hell wasn't good. It wasn't the cheese level of Total Recall 1, the original. Nothing can bring the cheese level except like Running Man. Oh my God!
Oh, Running Man,
it's time
love
to
it.
Start running.
Which makes me think of X-Crawl. When is
it? Does
we
Jesus? We need to start working on that.
We
too.
do. Yes. All right. Last item on my list. This one's just fun.
Okay.
June.
I like fun.
Yes. June 2nd, 1966. Surveyor 1 is the first United States spacecraft to soft land on the moon. It landed in the Ocean of Storms.
Ooh.
Becomes the first American space probe on any extraterrestrial body, occurring in the first attempt, and just 4 months after the very first moon landing by the Soviet Union's Luna 9 probe. So the Russians beat us to the moon.
There's no intelligent life here.
Well, true. But over the course of its entire life, it transmitted over 11,000 television pictures of the surface of the moon back to Earth.
Well, that's what they want us to believe anyway.
Or was it a set in Hollywood?
It was. It was a back lot in Universal.
Right.
Telling you, that's where it came from.
You ready for some birthdays?
Telling you, Brian.
Oh, terrible.
All right, yes, I'm ready for some birthdays.
All right. On the 28th, Alexa Davalos.
Bliss?
No,
let me say Alexa Bliss.
Davalos. She was in the Chronicles of Riddick, Clash of the Titans, Man in the High Castle.
Oh, yes. Okay, I know her.
Yes.
Man in the High Castle. When is season, what is it, 2 or it's 2?
I don't know. I watched most of that first season, and I just kind of drifted off of it.
Man, no, it was good. I liked it. I watched Lost in Space, too. I finally caught up on that. I actually kind of liked it.
Okay. That's cool. I have not caught up on Lost Space. I've caught up on Jessica Jones season 2. So
I'm not caught up on the Defenders.
Oh, man.
I know.
Way behind.
Slacking, I know.
On the 29th, Danny Elfman.
Oh,
composer.
yeah.
Yes. A lot of great stuff.
Tim Burton, and the crazy chick that Tim Burton's married to.
Oh.
God, what is her?
I can't.
I know. I can see her face right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, they had a love triangle. I'm telling you, it's a love triangle. I know.
Oh, it's terrible. On the 30th, Colm Meaney.
From Star Trek.
Yes.
He was the engineer. O'Brien?
Chief O'Brien.
Yes.
There you go. And he is second only to Michael Dorn in the most appearances in Star Trek episodes.
Oh, well, yeah, Deep Space Nine. Once they made that jump over there, they were in a whole bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, and, of course, Next Gen.
Yeah. Did you ever watch they had Mirror Mirror episode, but Deep Space Nine did a whole bunch of them, like where it took place after the Federation, or the what was the Mirror Mirror version of the Federation? They got overthrown, and so all the alien species took over and enslaved mankind.
Admittedly, I have not seen the entirety of the DS9 run.
Mm-hmm.
That was at the same time Babylon 5 was out. I watched
dirty rat bastard.
What? I really like Babylon 5. My wife is a fan of both. after seeing both of them. But she was much more into DS9 than I was, and I didn't, we didn't have the technology we had. We didn't have the internet. I couldn't go like stream the stuff.
Yeah, right.
So I would catch it in spurts. I wouldn't catch it consistently.
Heroes and Icons. It's a television. It's a UPL television station here in town. You can get it on your Cox Basic thing. And at 7 o'clock every night, they do Star Trek, the original series, followed by Next Gen, followed by DS9, followed by Voyager, and then followed by Bakula.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, 5 hours. You know how I found that out? When I was working on the Baby Cakes games?
Yeah.
I'd sit there and work the Baby Cakes games and watch Star Trek.
Nice.
I know. I was getting paid to watch Star Trek.
There you go.
Score.
All right, on the 31st, Colin Farrell. He was in Daredevil.
Total Recall.
Yes. Yes.
Total Recall reboot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Reboots?
Oh,
Reboots?
On the 2nd, Jewel State.
Oh, from Firefly.
From Firefly, yes. And
Don't talk to me about reboots.
Also from Firefly on the 2nd, Marina Baccarin. Inara.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Always forget her name.
Yes. So that's all the birthdays and stuff. So after I leave the studio from this Captain's Log supplemental episode,
yes,
I am going to D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe.
Are you really?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get some dinner.
Food.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. I'm not sure how we're supposed to end this Captain Log supplemental. I guess we'll just play some music and we'll do that.
Yeah. Go out like we normally do?
Sure.
So, hey, if you're catching this today, tomorrow, the next day, we are going to be at MightyCon's New Orleans Comic Con at the Hilario Center, June 9th and 10th, all weekend long, hanging out. Come stop by and see us.
That is true.
Yes.
And we might even sneak off over to another place down the street.
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe so.
We'll have to see.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.